What's Gucci with it, YouTube, veterans, military, back again with another banger. And today we're going to be talking about that fucking wave that's coming to get y'all. As always, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you learn anything from it and you don't support clickbait. Comment down below your personal opinion on this topic. Let's get into it. So first of all, there's a lot of new VA changes coming. Proposed changes that are being implemented. We already got one of the three. The remaining two, changes to mental health and changes to respiratory issues such as sleep apnea. So what do you do right now? Well, May 19th, 2024, that's about a month and a half away. The new criteria is going to be implemented for 55 disabilities for digestive issues. Following that, maybe another 2-3 months, maybe mental health will get finalized. Maybe sleep apnea will get finalized. But what does that mean? That means the VA and the new criteria doesn't necessarily help veterans out. It's going to make it a lot more challenging. Yeah, it does separate things. It does make more things, disabilities, a lot more detailed in their explanation. But with that detailedness, it comes challenges. It's not vague anymore. You know, you just can't go into the VA and, request try to get 30% for IBS, for my booty hole goblins. 50%, 80% now for GERD, for my throat goblins. No, it's a lot more difficult. And I got videos out on all of these new changes, how, cross-examination between the new criteria and the old criteria, moving forward and stuff like that. But it's a lot of things that you got to take in consideration. And veterans are not taking into consideration. They're not educating themselves, supporting clickbait. You know what I'm talking about? But how do you get ahead of this new wave? You can't go and get a Powerball, because if that was the case, if I won on the Powerball, just believe this channel will Thanos snap. It'll be Thanos snapped away, baby. If your boy hit the Powerball, I'll be off in some other country with the fam. You know what I'm talking about? Sipping on the Mai Tais. But I digress. I ain't hit it yet, so I'm here. I'm helping y'all. So that means get educated. If you have denied VA claims, read your decision letters. You learn a lot in the decision letters on how to get service connected, how to fight each issue. There's been veterans in the comment section like, hey, Debo, I read my decision letter. My diagnosis, hey, shout out to you. You know who you are. Diagnosis wasn't up to date. That's pretty much saying, hey, you had a diagnosis within some time frame. It could be 5-10 years, but you may not have been seeking treatment on that currently. Or it's just vague. Your medical evidence, your medical history and treatment is vague. So what does that mean? That means you need to go establish care, get a diagnosis, and, well, not even get a diagnosis, just reestablish care. Because once you have a diagnosis, it lasts. It shouldn't have an expiration date on a diagnosis. Now, when it comes to continuity of care, that's what the VA cares about. Okay, if you have a disability that could be considered presumptive, you got it back in 2001, 2003. Once you got out after, supporting Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, whatever the case may be, my Djibouti warriors. And then you haven't done anything with it since then. You didn't know about VA disability, or you did, you tried, you got a couple of denials, and you say, it's not for me. But now you're coming back because obviously you want some more benefits, increased compensation, dabbing on, I'm talking about. It's a lot of benefits that comes with a higher VA disability rating. Now, with that being said, you got to start off with, okay, why was I denied? Understand the reason why. Once you understand the reason why you were denied, you can then address those reasons, remedy it, and then submit a supplemental. Get that denied claim fucking, Or maybe you already submitted sufficient medical evidence to get service connected, to get a increase to your already service connected VA disability. And everything was good, but maybe that CMP examiner did you wrong, or maybe that VA rater did you wrong. Simply submit a higher level review. It goes in the first tier of the appeals process. You don't have to wait a couple years and then figure it out. But if you read your decision letter, they're saying you don't have a diagnosis, you're missing X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z is there. Was it submitted on your VA disability claim? Okay, cool. No, yes. If it's yes or no, move on from there. Is it in your service treatment record? Yes. Okay, cool. Refer to that if it's direct. Is it something new? Did you release for the VA to obtain a copy of that documentation from your primary care provider if you're solely going through the private community, private care route? Yes, check. Okay, cool. So why didn't they get this information? It's not my fault. It's not your fault, especially if you're working with a veteran service officer. Maybe something was missed, or maybe the VA just missed it completely. Submit a higher level review. Continue to fight that until you get a sufficient answer that you can, you can sleep good at night. Okay, cool. Hey, we did actually see it. It's just not what we were looking for. But you gotta understand that we're not there to help veterans. They're trying to what? Push. They're trying to increase their budget. Like, what do you think the PACT Act is? Like, the more I look into the PACT Act, the more it just seems like the VA is trying to get a bigger budget. For what? For them. For salaries. For promotions. For year-end bonuses. The more veterans sign up for VA healthcare, the bigger their budget needs to be. Yeah, they have this little ploy, PACT Act. But I would say, just looking at the numbers, about 75% of veterans who are submitting PACT Act related claims are getting 0% or not service connected. What does that mean? That means, yes, you're service connected. We recognize you have this disability, and you can come back to the VA and get treatment. We're not going to pay you. We're going to treat you because we're getting our budget increased over the years. And it just had a big budget increase this year. I'm sure it's going to be even bigger next year. The more veterans come in to the VA medical facilities, signing up for care, the bigger the budget needs to be. That's why there's all these new VA facilities popping up everywhere in the boonies and the woodworks. But what does it start off with? It starts with your education. Don't get confused. Don't get misled by clickbait, new benefit. Oh, exciting. It's not new benefits. It's nothing. The benefits have been around. You just need to educate yourselves on it. Focus on what's the prize. The prize is getting service connected, getting a sufficient VA disability rating, and if all else, have a high VA disability rating. So what? You get compensated, you got benefits, and you got, A, B, and C. Doesn't matter. It's kind of bright out here. Might be time for the shades, I'm talking about. But with one of the big three proposed changes already implemented, being the digestive system, I could see one more of those getting hit this year. And I don't think it's going to be mental health. I think it'll be respiratory, sleep apnea specifically. Sleep apnea is a 50% guaranteed if you can get service connected. Yeah, there are some outliers, some veterans who get a 0% for sleep apnea, or they just keep getting their, multiple CMP exams, keep getting pushed out, hopefully in hopes of what? The new criteria getting implemented. So once that new criteria for respiratory issues, mainly targeting sleep apnea, comes out, it's going to be game over. Game over for veterans trying to even think about sleep apnea. Because at that point, yeah, you can get service connected for sleep apnea, but more than likely it's going to be at a 0% criteria. And the VA already made assumptions. If you're not 100% permanent total and you're still trying to put in the claim, or you don't have a permanent disability, you're going to be the first target. All those veterans are going to be the first targets. Because what? If you're at 50% for sleep apnea, you're going to get decreased to 30 or 10 if you don't meet the new criteria. Because what? Not every veteran is static or permanent. So what does that mean? You have a future routine exam associated with that VA disability rating that you have. And in that future routine exam, they're going to cross-reference you against the new criteria. And then what they're going to do, they're going to send you a letter in the mail saying, hey, we're proposing a reduction in benefits due to what? Hey, you've either gotten better, or according to the new criteria, is you don't meet the criteria to hold 50%, especially if you haven't held sleep apnea for 10 years. If you held it for 10 years, you can't suffer a reduction. If it's less than 10 years, game on, baby. Game on. 5-year rule applies to this. Yeah, you'll still stay service connected, but the VA can still propose a reduction in that rating for sleep apnea, VA disability claims specifically. So, and when it comes to mental health, yeah, it's going to help a lot of veterans get service connected in the initial service connection for mental health, as well as at the end. If you're at 90%, it helps get you to the 100. Not necessarily between the 30, 50, and the 70% criteria. Hey, y'all like this type of content? Let your boy know. This Debo out.